Yo, what's up, guys? Okay, I decided to make another video today because if you're following along, we've had a pretty decent drop from the PPI news that was earlier this morning. Crypto took a pretty big hit. Bitcoin dropped about 6%, I'm pretty sure, or like 5% or something like that. It's recovering a little bit now, but I just want to make an update on our positions. Maybe there's some new positions we can enter. And also, maybe we're starting to think about cutting some positions. So I'm just going to go over pretty much all that today in this video. And I first want to start off on Bitcoin. So we pretty much swept all-time highs, and then we had a pretty violent drop below the weekly open. So that's pretty much my key level for the day. I was looking to long somewhere in this 117K area back to the weekly open. I'm not sure if we get that yet, but right here at this moment on Bitcoin, I'm not insanely bullish. I'm a little bit more neutral or leaning to the a little bit more bearish side, but still we're at 118K. That's still that's still a 5% move from the low. So there's really nothing to be worried about. The people who are shitting their pants though are everybody who just started leverage longing alts when Bitcoin hit a new all-time high, and as you can see here on the right, everything's down 10% or even more. So all those people got crushed and flushed out. Luckily, we didn't. As I talked about yesterday, I'm not interested in putting on any new positions, and this is exactly the reason why. We secured our entries. For example, Litecoin's down 7% today, but still from our entries, we are up 17% on Litecoin. So we're still in the green. We're still in the clear. Even though this doesn't look great, we're okay though because we're still in profits, and yeah, that's just how it's gonna be. But it's totally okay. Ethereum's still two on that long that I showed last time. I don't know where it just went, but that is still up. SPX is the only one that we're down on. I low key got cooked on this a little bit, but it's fine. Um, Everything else is up. But yeah, I spoke about this in yesterday's video that we'll probably see something like exactly what we just had on SPX. Swept out all these lows. So maybe you want to long into here, maybe not. It's kind of difficult to say right now. That's why I'm just sort of holding on to my entries and not really looking on to put on too much risk. But as I said in the last video, the one thing to keep an eye on is Pendle. So if you're looking for a trade, you want to get some exposure on this dip. This Pendle trade here doesn't look too bad in my opinion. Pendle's been showing super insane strength. Maybe also you low-key want to bring your stops to somewhere around here because this pivot point has still not gotten tapped, and then that would just be disappointing if it reversed from here right as we got stopped out. So yeah, I actually like moving the stops a little bit higher on Pendle just because it wouldn't really make sense to just come to these lows and then that's a higher chance than right here for a reversal in my opinion. So a trade like this definitely looks pretty valid on Pendle if you don't have any exposure. Um, and yeah, this is just the period in the market where, again, you don't want to get super greedy with high leverage entries because in one wick, you can literally be stopped out of pretty much any position that you enter um, overnight. And a lot of the PST people were sleeping during this. So again, you always just want to make sure you're protected. Bonk. I am looking at Bonk. It's forming this sort of range right here. Maybe we get a deviation below it, but nothing else. Yeah, CRV, again, CRV, it just keeps pissing me off. I'm not going to lie. Look, we pump up 20%. Then the next day, we literally dump 13%. So I'm still holding on to this. It's above the early open, but again, we can still have something like this happen on CRV, and this just takes a longer time, and this range just solidifies itself even more as just some consolidation and chop for CRV, maybe something like that, and then we get a breakout. Maybe it just needs a longer time, but I just wanted to make the update. The one position to watch, I guess, is Pendle. If you're in the Litecoin trade and you still like your profits now, if we get a daily close underneath this gray zone, I would just take your profits. I'm personally holding for higher because I don't mind cutting all these trades at break even because I think the upside potential is much greater. But again, that's how you risk and your risk tolerance. And then Bitcoin, this is a decent scalp right here that I kind of drew out again, 117. stops underneath the monthly open. And yeah, so I like that for Bitcoin. Let's check in on that gold long that I was talking about. It's down, yeah. Okay, gold is back at entry. We had a super nice move up last night, about 1%, but it's back at entry. A little bit of a bummer, but I'm still holding gold. Maybe this is a double sweep right here. We'll have to see, but I'm still in this position. So I just wanted to update pretty much everything for you guys. Um, Nothing really to do, in my opinion, right now. There's really no moves to be made until we get a little bit better. Yeah, syrup is also getting cooked. So yeah, syrup is just getting cooked. I'm not gonna lie from this entry, but I'm still in it. So of course, everything is down today. Our positions are down, but overall, we are still net positive on P&L, um, which is good. It's good to see. Again, you don't want to turn this into like a cascade where you just start losing money, adding on more risk, adding onto your positions, and then ultimately ending up negative. So as long as I don't take a loss, honestly, I count it as a win. But we'll have to see where price continues. Again, this is why this is impossible to trade leverage right here. Like you're gonna get stopped out with these. Each one of these moves is 10%, so you can't be trading 10x leverage, and you're basically just throwing darts at the board and probably will get stopped out. So that's why I said the swing trades on crypto, these high time frame levels are much more significant and help a lot more to trade. So what we're watching for again is either a reaction from 117K or a reaction from the weekly open if this level doesn't get hit. And then let's just draw out some high time frame Bitcoin levels in case we do get a random crazy dump or something like that. So in my opinion, some good levels to watch on Bitcoin are obviously this low right here at like 114,000 right here, which is that low right there. And then also somewhere in this 110K area for Bitcoin also. And then worst comes to worst, somewhere around this monthly level down here. But again, Bitcoin's pretty much been in an uptrend since March, and it's been up about 58%. So you can't really complain about this dump. It's all relative though to how you're positioned and where your entries are, because a lot of people I know are feeling pain, but a lot of people are still up insane amounts, and this dip is pretty much irrelevant. So that's my update for the day. Everything still looks good. I mean, Ethereum still looks super strong. This is the key level to hold above, in my opinion, and we should still be good for these highs. And yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.